A couple of weeks ago, right, I did in my constituency office, I had a number of constituents come and visit me, and it just breaks your heart. You hear these stories. I heard these stories for many, many years. In fact, dating to back to the time when I was with just Joy and myself in the provincial legislature. You hear these stories about seniors not having enough resources to make ends meet, and that they were compromising their health, and they were, not having enough money to buy the medication that they needed, not having proper home support, and so on and so forth. And you hear these stories. But in the last few weeks, actually, I'm not kidding you, in one fell swoop in that month, I had close to 10 cases, 10 separate seniors who came into my office or contacted me where their home support has been cut. And these are seniors who's had their home support for, at least 3, 4, 5 years. In one case, this woman, she had it for more than 10 years. Her health condition, if anything, for all of these seniors had worsened, and they're not gotten better because they had gotten older. The mobility issues been more challenged. They have more other health issues and so on. And what does the government do? They actually cut their home support services. They were all dealt with the same way, no matter what their health conditions were. They all lost their home support services except for 1 hour once a week for a bath. You gotta ask yourself, for anybody, do you really only take one bath a week? Are you joking me? And this is how our provincial government is dealing with our seniors. And it is very, very real. So I, of course, then got into, into my fighting mode. I originally, in my way of doing business, I first bring it to the minister's attention. I write endless letters to them to say this is what was happening, and I explain each case health conditions and their situation, and to advocate to say why that you must not cut the services. If in fact anything, you ought to be considering increasing their home support services. Of course, the minister writes back and says, thanks very much, but this has been an ongoing situation and we're trying to expand our home support, so therefore we have to cut people's hours. So that was his rationale. So, no resolution there, and so then I brought it to the media. And I brought it to the media, and we did some stories on this, around this front. And of course, in that process, it prompted Vancouver Coastal Health to phone me and say, Jenny, you don't understand. And I said, what don't I understand? What am I missing here? He goes, it's not just Vancouver Coastal that's doing this. All the health authorities are doing this across British Columbia. And I thought, oh, great then. You want to go and celebrate? Is that something you want to go and tell everybody how wonderful you guys are in the way in which you're treating seniors? And so we're in that process of fighting that fight. And then I also wrote a letter to the seniors advocate and asking her to investigate this issue, because I don't think that this is an issue, an isolated incident. I do believe that this is a systematic situation where they're actually going around cutting seniors' home support services. And I was very pleased to hear when I talked with the seniors advocate, and she told me that that's going to be her next report. She is going to do a full investigation into the home support services and the situation that's happening right now in British Columbia. So stay tuned, and that report is going to come out sometime in the fall. And in the meantime, we'll keep on pursuing this. Of the 10 cases, 2 of them now has come back with the minister saying, oh gee, my mistake, we didn't realize that they had this and that and the other thing, and so they're now going to reverse those home support service hour cuts, and I still got 8 more cases that we're pursuing and new ones that are coming in. So if you hear anything from anybody around this, do make sure that they get a hold of one of us, the MLAs. And when I say one of us, I really mean seem like one of us, and not the Liberal MLAs, because I've actually got constituents from the Liberal ridings that are contacting me that they didn't get service from their own MLA. And you know, I just got to tell you, seniors who built our province, who built this country, should never be treated that way. It is just nothing, it's a crime, frankly, in my view. It's a crime for the government to treat our seniors in that way, and we cannot let them get away with that.